Hi, I'm Jordan Favre with the Amanda and Associates team at Coastal Realty Group. I'm here today with Catherine Riemann at Supreme Lending. We've had quite a few buyers that have called in. They're curious about credit repair. They're curious about what is the minimum requirement for credit scores to be able to obtain home ownership. And they want to know what's the first step and how do they even find out what their credit scores are. So Catherine, can you help us out with some of those questions for our first time home buyers?
Sure. And that's a good place to start, Jordan, because the most important component of the mortgage approval process is credit score. It's the first thing that we look at. We pull credit from all three of the credit reporting agencies, and we use, of the three different scores, we use not the highest, not the lowest, but the middle score for qualifying purposes. Every loan program out there has a minimum credit score requirement. For the most part, if your credit scores are above 620, you're going to be okay. We can find a loan program for you. Over 640 is better, and every 20-point increment is better in terms of easier approval, better interest rates. A lot of things impact, credit scores impact a lot.
Okay, I know that we have some buyers who know their credit scores below 620. They might have 595. Is there a possibility for them to obtain a home ownership within the next 3 or 4 months? How does credit improvement work?
There are a number of practices that can improve and worsen your credit. So every case is different. I really need to look at the credit report, to pull a credit report and see why the scores are the way they are. Sometimes it's a quick fix. Sometimes it's just a matter of maybe the buyer having the balances on their credit cards are a little high. For instance, if you have a credit card with a $500 balance and you've got with a $500 limit and you have a $500 balance on it, that's going to impact your score because you're using 100% of the available credit on that card. If the credit scores are low because of something like recent late payments, that's a little harder. That's something that only time can fix. But there are a lot of issues that arise with credit that can be an easy fix and a fast fix.
Okay, and does your company have like a simulator per se that you can put someone's credit through that tells if there's room for improvement?
We do. We do. I have 2 simulators that we work with that one's a credit analyzer that analyzes the overall credit picture and makes suggestions. The other is a what if simulator where we can actually add things to the credit report in the simulation where we can suggest, well, if this buyer had an additional credit card, for instance, or a credit card. Credit scores are determined not only by balances, by payment on time, but by a credit mix. So if someone only has installment loans and don't have any revolving debt, adding a credit card will improve their scores.
Okay, Catherine, so am I correct to say that the first step for any home buyer who's unsure whether they meet the requirements to get with a lender and let them pull their credit so that they can be reviewed and be put in the right direction?
Absolutely. We work with folks every day who have scores that need a little improvement, a little tweaking. The best move anyone can make is just to get with their lender, have a credit report pulled, and see what we need to do. Make a plan together.
Okay, great. Thank you. This is Catherine Riemann at Supreme Lending. If you guys have any other topics you'd like for us to go over next week, please let us know. Thank you. This is your tips for Thursday.